Hey everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Look, I'm not going to be long. Number one, I'm headed to the gym. Number two, this Houston heat is not going to allow this phone to stay on that long, stuck to that windshield. But I want to talk to you. Don't forget, we're in the middle of a fundraiser for Black Men Lead, as well as the other programs for the Odyssey Project, but we're really pushing for Black Men Lead because there's a strong need for work in this area that cannot be overstated. But I want to talk to you a little bit, and it'll give you some insight to who I am, why I'm the way I am about this program, and why I think it's imperative that we develop a space for Black males, starting at young Black males, but all of us. And here's it. I'm going to explain to you the thought processes in developing the Black Men Lead logo. Now, anybody who's ever seen the Black Men Lead logo, hopefully it's going to be on the thumbnail for this video, but it's on the site. It's on a lot of different material associated with Black Men Lead. It's on hoodies and a bunch of other things, but it is 3 Black males. Normally, there are a couple of times that it's in gray, but most of the time the figures are in black, it's 3 Black males, 1 Black male out front, 2 Black males behind, and they are in the crosshairs of a rifle. Okay, the crosshairs represent Black men being targeted in so many different ways. The threat that Black men face as children into the school system, the prison system, law enforcement, finance, jobs, discrimination, all of these different things. That's the crosshairs. The 3 males, the one out front is a mature, well-established, strong Black man that's standing out in front of the younger Black males as a shield of protection, as a shield, as a guide, as a leader. That's how we have to be. Now, let me explain the thought process that went into that. Obviously, it's easy to see that we're targeting. We're talking about it all the time. But let me explain something to you on a deeper level. There's a natural drive in a man to be associated with what he's able to accomplish, whatever he's doing. He is designed and built psychologically different than a woman, where his focus and his identity is set directly in who he is as a performer in his work, in his ability to provide, in his ability to protect. So his physicality, his performance at work and everything. And that is a place that many Black men suffer. That's a place that many Black men struggle. And it is organized and it is engineered, and it creates a heightened level of stress. Black men are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than Black women. The suicide rate among Black men are still climbing. Just in the last 6 years, it has risen in Black males between the ages of 15 and 24, it has risen almost 50%. In the ages from 23 to 35, it is at its height, and there's a reason behind it. Let me explain something to you. Not only are we dealing with the stresses of attempting to be what we need to be in our work because we're so heavily associated with it, we identify with it, we're also being judged by it. How well we doing our work, how much money we make, all these different things is how we're being judged. When you're engineered to be on the lowest rung of the socioeconomic ladder, meaning that your median income is a reflection of more than just your effort. See, it's not that we don't have the effort. It's not that we don't have the desire. It's not that we don't seek out the skill set. White high school graduates on a median level earn more than bachelor degree Black males with bachelor degrees. So this isn't just about we're not wanted. Now, we are presented consistently in the media as trifling, as lazy, as brutal, as violent, as misogynistic. And don't get me wrong, there's a whole little sector of misogynists out there. But for the most part, we want to love. We want to be loved. We want to be embraced. We want to be affirmed. We want to be validated. The problem is we're validating ourselves in a place that we don't have complete control. My goal is to shift the validation. Now, we need to be useful. Don't get me wrong. Our usefulness is immensely important, but I think our masculinity should be attached to our character more than our bank account. Now, at the same time, I think that we need to be preparing young black boys to strengthen their bank accounts, to strengthen their minds. But that starts early, because I'm going to tell you what's happening now. And it's not just happening among young black males, it's happening among middle-aged men. The lack of power, the lack of validation, the lack of affirmation has led black men to start eating one another. And what I mean by that, we're pushing one another down to be seen as quote-unquote alphas. That's not what alphas do. That's a feeding frenzy among betas. And what it is I need to feel important. So I'm gonna try to cut this person down so that I can look good. And you don't realize, and often you are destroying the possibility of unity. You're destroying the possibility of collective power. You're destroying, in many instances, families, because some of you are creeping in the homes of other people. You're also throwing one another under the bus at work. You are destroying the very essence of what's important in black unity, and that's collectivism among black males. We are out here trying to live up to our own expectations while simultaneously trying to measure up to all of the other expectations that people have for us. And for the most part, we're doing it on our own because that's what we're told. We don't need help. Real men don't ask for help. Real men don't need help. And it's all of these different erroneous concepts and ideas that lead to this notion. I'm arriving at the gym, so just forgive me. That lead to these notions of, I gotta win. So in essence, instead of standing with one another, we're too busy trying to prove we're better than the next. We're too busy trying to prove that we have more to offer than the next. We're too busy trying to prove that this is what it's supposed to look like. We don't come together. We don't, I'm smarter than him. I make more money than him. I'm stronger than him. I've done this. All of it is a competition with black men that you should be unifying with, but we have to start at an early age. That's what that man out front is. He's showing them how it goes. The one that's in the prime position doesn't step on the ones who are behind. He stands in front of and guards them until they develop the capacity to become like him. He passes the torch at a certain age and steps back and lets them step up front. I said this, man, 15 years ago. That by this time in my life, I didn't want to be a guy out front. Not that I don't have the capacity. I just felt like there were younger guys, more vigor, more connectivity to the youth than I have because of the age difference. And then I would sit up and I would prepare men to be in the position and the role that I was in at the time. And then I would step back and I would be the voice of wisdom, the voice of reason, the advisor. And we would do what we should be doing naturally, moving into different roles as we progress in life and leaving power behind us. And we're not doing that. We are self-destructing. And that's what is that the thinking went into it is like, we're in the crosshairs. And we can't do anything about the person holding the rifle. So we can't get out of the crosshairs, but what we can do is we can systematically guard ourselves against being hit. We put someone out with experience out in front, put someone out with wisdom out in front, put someone out with courage out in front. We put someone out with a willingness to go do what has to be done out front. And we put those who need protecting and defending until they develop behind. We are going to have to do a better job. That's why I am so adamant about the work we do at the Odyssey Project and with Black Men Lead. And so again, I am challenging everyone to get on board. We need a universal rite of passage. We need to have a universal understanding of what black men black manhood is, so that not only men can recognize and hold each other to a standard and hold each other accountable, so that women can recognize manhood when they see it as well. I'm more than my wallet. I'm more than the vehicle. I'm more than the house. All that's great, but none of that stuff carries beyond a certain period of time. It diminishes with time. What stands is character and integrity. That actually grows stronger when you understand it and you live in it and you walk in it and you become it. I think that we have to start redefining manhood. I'm not saying that men aren't supposed to be providers. Absolutely are. I'm saying that that can't be the only mechanism through which you are defined, because you will become arrogant in your wealth and your success. And you will tend not to see the value in your woman, because being a sole provider puts you at an advantage, and it doesn't. You have to see the equality, and when you are judged by your character and the wholeness of who you are as a person, you tend to see the character and the wholeness of the other person as an individual. And you have a respect for that person beyond what they may not do as well as you do. Because everybody's bringing a balance. She's bringing intuition and expression to the relationship. You're bringing functionality and skill to the relationship, generally speaking. You're bringing a certain ability, and she's bringing a certain ability. And it's in that home that you build, that you procreate, that you produce your progeny, and then you instill in them the values, interests, and principles that will govern them and make them powerful. You project your values out through your progeny, but you have to create the right environment. As long as we continue to misvalue the importance of mental health, as long as we continue to misvalue the importance of collectivism and self-love, the more we continue to misvalue black marriage and black love, the more we're going to find ourselves sliding down that slippery slope of self-destruction. And they are loving it because they are not having to do a whole lot of anything but present images that we buy into and then perpetuate behaviors behind. We're fighting like rabid dogs for little spaces in our little world, and destroying one another in the process. We are going to have to do better. And it's a shame that we don't have more people saying this. Everybody wants the bag. Doesn't matter how you get it. It doesn't matter who you are after you have it. Just get the bag. The bag is obtainable. Trust me, the bag is obtainable. The character is what you want. The commitment to something bigger than yourself is what you have to have. It's called purpose. There has to be character and purpose, or you will get lost in this thing. And all that skill set, all that giftedness, all that bag will mean nothing. Just wasted. And a bunch of you with the bag are destroying people because you don't know what to do with it. On that note, I'm leaving you with it. For those who really want to help do something different and change the trajectory of our people, the link is in the box. For those of you who are believing in what we're doing with Black Men Lead, the link is in the box. You can give through Cash App. Those who want to give to the other things we do, we have a bunch of other things that we're doing. We're working with young girls, young women, abused, battered, sexually, sex trafficked, incest. Man, I have clients in their 60s who are still struggling from ancestral relationships as minors. I'm telling you we're destroying ourselves. And we don't want to talk about that elephant in the room either. So we're doing a lot of work. But if you don't want to do Black Men Lead, there's going to be a general link in the box that you can give to the organization as a whole, and we will disperse it. Or you can sit up and say, hey, I wanted to go towards helping battered women. I want to go to sexually abused women, whatever. And trust me, there's a lot of work there. And we do it. My thing is the program that gets the less attention is Black Men Lead. The most devastating force moving through Black America right now, misguided Black men. And I'll leave it at that. But on that note, I'm challenging you to be a positive force and help us be a positive force. Show some love, show some support, and contribute. On that note, I've got to get out of here and get to work in the gym. I'm out.